Right, I don't know if I'm here alone. Hey, Bruce. Hope you well. Hey, demo party network. Sorry, I was booted out. I don't know how. I don't know why. I've given up. Trying to understand, it seems to be a daily thing, and my upload is full strength. My manager Mud taught me how to check my upload strength and download strength. I'm on full signal, so it happens intermittently, and I think I just figured out why, but I'll keep it to myself now. Anyhow, we're watching 7-month-old golden eagle. She will be 7 months old on November 18th, was born on April 18th, fledged on July 4th. Every year, I follow golden eagles from mating to incubating their eggs to the hatching day to growing in the nest to fledge day. And then we follow them on the rock face, which is part of the private property where I work, on film. Nice to meet you, Omar. I'm in Colorado, United States. Hello, demo party. Yes, I can see you. Thank you, Omar. Appreciate it. It's amazing what the internet can do these days. We can watch each other's from across the world. I do a lot of live streaming of wildlife, coyotes, mule deer, white-tailed deer, raccoons, skunks, birds. And the birds will vary. Like right now, we don't have any hummingbirds because they migrated. We'll get them back in the spring. Geese, ducks, bald eagles, golden eagles, hawks, hounds, the odd mountain lion, the odd black bear, snakes. Obviously, they may have gone dormant right now. And if you love wildlife, you know how it goes. We wait till they show up. And I don't monetize, as Citizen Soldier said, by choice. Once you monetize, you do it for money on subscription, I guess, and I just do it. because I love wildlife. I work on a little piece of paradise on earth and just want to share what I see, my blessings, with others who might not be as lucky, who might be stuck in towns or wherever, or who have different kind of wildlife. We all get different kind of wildlife depending where we are. And everything is filmed on a private property. The private property is set up to protect animals. So we don't use sprays, so it doesn't kill the insects or whatever. The deer has been hanging around for like 5 years, the same herd. And you will see some with collars, GPS collars. That's because wildlife officials, the biology department of wildlife, is studying them. So they've got collars to see where they're roaming around, where they seem to hang out the most. Right now, it's this property, awesome. And then every month, other months, they will do some blood test for record keeping, I guess. But the advantage of having them, I guess, with collars is that if any of them are injured in the herd, the biologist will come right out to look at the injury and help them if it can be helped. If they feel it can heal on its own, they'll leave it alone. Yes, I get a lot of crows in the spring and autumn, and the ravens. So the ravens come back in the winter, and it's all based on that eaglet. When the golden eagles have babies, all the raptures, from bald eagles to hawks, will move. They've got secondary nests. And soon as eaglet migrates, they all come back on property. This eaglet is late migrating, so bald eagle has been coming in and out to check on the status, I guess. As the golden eagle parents will chase anything they view as a threat to the eaglet. I've got a lot of bird seeds for the birds, and the squirrels will come and get the seeds and the peanuts. So I've got squirrel peanut boxes now, and there is a squirrel with no tail. She lost a tail over 11 years ago. That squirrel is over 11 years because I've been here 11 years and she was here. And she will take nuts from my mouth. She's never been rehabbed by a human. She healed the loss of a tail alone 11 years ago. But she will come, find me, get a walnut treat. She will take nuts from my hands, from my mouth. And now the other squirrels are doing that. So quite a few squirrels will come and take nuts from my hands. The raccoons are a new batch. Last spring, now over a year ago, we had a batch of raccoons. They would come right up to me. The skunks were used to my voice, so they wouldn't spray me. We've got a new batch. They're getting used to me. One of them has started to come to me, recognizing my voice. And then we've got the coyotes. And a lot of my subscribers will tell me that their pets actually watch my streams, like Linda, citizens. When I've got the critters, the birds, the squirrels, the raccoons, the skunks, the dogs, cats will watch. My cats watch the squirrels and try to catch them on the screen. I don't use AI filters. I don't use any kind of app filtering for my videos because I'm using anyhow just a phone on the scope, and I want to keep it raw, authentic, natural. And when it's filmed somewhere else, like if I go to the mountains and see some mountain goats, I will say that I was going to Thompson Canyon or Vale or whatever. Unless it's mentioned, it's filmed on property. It's not the largest property, it's not the smallest one, 120 acres. So I call it the front backyard, the east backyard, the north backyard, the south backyard. Yes, I don't care. Well, I care about my wildlife, that's about it. And true wildlife lovers. I have been on some streams where, yeah, they're more bothered about the numbers and money for wildlife, get their corn bought, get their entertainment center bought. And it's not even the backyard, it's a public land, just in the back of the backyard. Wildlife and nature sounds have a healing effect on the soul. You feel stressed, go outside, find a tree. If you're in town, I guess you have to find a park or something. Go bare feet if it's not cold, and lean against a tree. It will reset your mind. Hug a tree. And if it's cold, buy a bag of soil, put it in a bucket, and just dig your feet in the bucket. And watch what happens. Yeah, I suppose if I used AI and gave it an idea, I would get an eagle landing on my shoulder. But that's not true, is it? I'll stick to eagle doing a lot of just watching. And it's right in front of me on the patio, so it can see me. And for new viewers, if you go in my community post, scroll down a few months ago, I actually climbed up at the top and took some eagle bird view. So it gives you an idea of what eagles see when they're perched up there. And we're in a canyon, so you will hear a lot of noise that echoes back. The road is nowhere close to here. There are no neighbors. Neighbors are a few miles away. Well, that rock face is 1 mile away from my patio on the property. So every day when I work at my job, I'm surrounded by beautiful views, wildlife. The deer is accustomed to my voice. I'm about the only one who can drive a car right by them, open my window, speak to them, and I filmed it. It's on a few of my shorts where you see them, they're ready to take off. I open my window, I speak to them, and they don't take off. They even accustomed to my car music. I like music loud when I drive. And once or twice I forgot to turn off my music as I opened my window, started to film, and you've got the music blasting. And they don't mind it. I just cannot then post it, or I cancel the audio to avoid problems. I use only my content, no other people's music, no. I know that if I go in studio, I could get some music that is allowed, but I keep it natural. Well, the other stream was like 35 minutes. This one is already in 19 minutes, so we were blessed. Eaglet perched even longer than yesterday. I might have just jinxed myself. Yeah, Bruce. The owner actually has speakers, outdoor speakers on all the buildings. And I didn't know for the first few years till he told me I had to cross the driveway at night for my night round. And I had a big predator. And I freaked out. Obviously, I couldn't get out. And I was on edge all night. And that's when he told me, why don't you turn on the music? And he actually fitted his whole property with speakers around the building and the main areas where humans are. That you turn on the music at night or the radio, whatever. And the deer is accustomed to it, the raccoons, the skunks, but the mountain lions and the coyotes will not tolerate it. So it keeps them away from the main area. And it actually works. So if I film, I've got to remember to turn down the speakers. And he's got the volume. Oh, I'm watching oh, that's a hawk. Hawk just came out of the ditch and is flying around. Anyhow, So I've got to remember to turn down the music, particularly when I live stream, and then put it back on. So he thought of everything instead of using traps or whatever. He used friendly ways. So like in a summer and spring, while we've got the phones, even if the cattle has not arrived on property yet, we'll turn on the electric fencing, because bears do not like electric fencing. They sense it. They don't have to touch it, they sense it. And then the fawns will remain in the pastures where the electrical fencing is. And everybody is happy, everybody's keeping to their part. Mountain lion don't care. They'll go through everything, unfortunately. Except in the music. It's like at night when I live stream, I used to use white lights. And the owls would have a buffet of raccoons and skunks right there under the tree line. And the wildlife officials came one night and told me, you need to use red lights. All animals will not be bothered by the red light, but the owls will. And it is actually true. The owls will be near white lights. They don't seem bothered, they're adapted, but they, for some reason, do not like red lights. Bruce. Be careful what you say, Bruce, as the monitoring might not understand a joke and flag it. I experienced that last night talking of a dog. Well, Roger was talking of a dog. And he should have wrote, my dog, my dog, my dog, in every comment. Hey, mountain man, how are you? We are blessed with Eaglet being here. Hey, Linda. Welcome back, Linda. I didn't see you, sorry. I don't know if my chat is on all messages or just stop messages. Thank you, Linda. I don't mind that name. You're welcome, mountain man. This is the first year that I am filming an eaglet this far in the year. Usually they leave. The earliest left mid-August, the latest end of October. This is the first time that I am filming a golden eaglet this late in the year. And I think bald eagles are like, you still around? We need the pasture by the rock face to bring our fledglings to eat goose. And the golden eagle parents come daily to check on the status. They were flying all together yesterday. I've got to yet post that short. I'm getting behind on my shorts, but that's okay. When it snows, we might not get much wildlife beside the mountain lion if I can spot it. So I'll just post things I've filmed this summer, like the praying mantises and whatever. Eaglet is honoring us with its presence. So the last stream was approximately 35, 40 minutes, I think. This one is 27 minutes. Yesterday, Eaglet, I think, stayed at most 30 minutes, which was the longest in 4 weeks. But it was nice, warm and sunny. Today is overcasted, cold, gloomy. Yes, she does. Anzi Guggy. Bruce. Well, we elevated, but not high enough. But then again, wildlife has been acting strange this year. They had elk in the eastern plain, which usually is not seen. Wildlife had to go in that eastern city. I think it was Greeley, Colorado. And dart the elk and take it back to a safe area. But they're mostly, you know, in the higher elevation. I think you lived in Colorado, like Estes, will have a lot of elk. A lot of them will migrate in the winter to Loveland, Colorado, near the reservoirs. Oh, she's going to go. I can't see Mama. She must be calling Mama. If she flies out, we might lose her. I think I need to zoom out. It looks like she's getting ready to fly. I'll attempt to follow her. I can't guarantee I will. I'm actually thinking of going to the 2 sanctuaries I go to. One is huge. They've got acreage and acreage and acreage of land, and they rescue wild animals worldwide like tigers, lions, bears, wolves that were illegally detained or in circuses. They've actually got all of king tiger tigers that they rescued. And you walk on a well over a mile of catwalk platform, its feet up, so you don't walk around the perimeters of the acreage and bother them. And you watch them from the top. And I go there once in a while to film them, but the signal over there is iffy. It's eastern of Colorado, Kingsburg, Wild Animal Sanctuary. I go sometimes over there on film if I can get signal, and we can see lions, and they live in the wild. They've got these huge sewer pipes that they are donated, and they place them underground, and that's dens. So they've got lynx, foxes. Yeah, they rescue everything and anything. And I'm thinking of going to my local wolf sanctuary too, because that one will let me go in the enclosures and sit with the wolves. I did it a few times in the past. And they're pretty impressive. I know they're much heavier than I am, put it that way. And maybe if they've got signal up there in the mountains, film it live, or film a video that I can premiere. And I often go to estates anyhow to film in the canyon, mountain goats and the elk. But it's hit or miss. So you've got to be lucky on the day you pick. They kind of locked Rocky Mountain National Park, so I've stopped buying the pass because it's ridiculous. Since 2020, they decided that you need to book online to get in. You can't just drive around like you used to be able to buy your pass. Oh, I lost it. Oh, that's why. Mama is here. That's why. I lost it, but it should come close by Mama. And I lost Mama. Great. Oh, well, that's Eaglet, the white band. They're going so fast, it's difficult to follow them. So I'll try my best, and when we lose them, we lose them. Hey, Ethiopian brand. Hey, Luo6. Thank you, Luo6. I'm not going to zoom in because it's going to most unlikely take off again. And as you heard, it got very vocal when Mama arrived. And Mama is not far. I don't know where she is, but she's still around. And the way you can tell, first it's vocal, but if you look at Eaglet, it's in a submissive position. It kind of rounds up. And that's what I observed. Oh, look, Mama brought some food. I think Mama brought some food. I think. or not. Maybe it's trying to encourage it. I mean, Eaglet's got to be hunting by now. I don't know. Mammoth can. I don't know what he's saying, and because I am on a scope, I can't go to the translating. So I hope it is good, as we have to follow YouTube community guidelines in chat. And I'm doing that disclaimer for YouTube to know I'm trying, but I can't be outside manning a scope and be on a translation inside. Hey, Bobby Progresso, it's an eaglet. It's turning 7 months old on November 18th, golden eagle. Oops. Don't know if it's going to fly off again. It looks like the lack of sun is affecting my focus. Focus back in, but if it takes off, I might miss it. Oops. Oh, Mama is back. If it's calling, Mama is back. I'm going to zoom out again, as I cannot follow it in flight if we zoomed in too much. And in case I've got new viewers who come here for the first time, we're watching a golden eagle that will be 7 months old on November 18th. We watched it grow from day one till now. It should have migrated by now, but it's still here. And Mama just arrived. So I'm zooming in and out. I cannot follow it in flight if I'm zoomed in. And this is the first time in weeks that it has perched for this long, allowing me to film it. Mama just landed by it a few minutes ago and took off again. I'm not sure why I cannot get a good focus. I think it's because of the light. We don't have enough light. Looks like it might take off again. So I'm going to zoom out to try to follow it in flight. Any wildlife watcher knows that we're just watching wildlife in the raw, no AI scenario, no enhancing. So we've got a dark day today due to no sun out and overcasted sky, which affects my scope with the detail. And I'm filming with a scope on the phone a mile away. And I'm just sharing what I'm seeing, so we won't see any acrobatic stuff, fake stuff. We'll just see real stuff. And I've just got an old iPhone on the scope. No fancy equipment. If I had fancy equipment, I guess I would be retired and not working. And this is where I work. And everything I film on my channel is my own content on the property I work on, so private property, private grounds. I'm not in a public place or, filming at a distance from someone else's yard and saying, hey, look what I've got in my backyard. And I don't monetize to not have the stress of competing or, I don't know. Do you want to see more content like that? I need feed. Please send me donations for me to buy corn or bird seeds or peanuts for the squirrels. I am blessed to see this wildlife daily, the views daily, and it's not mine, so I'm just sharing it for the nature lovers. And I don't need donations. This is a creation that we all have the pleasure to witness. I guess it's not going to fly off, so maybe I'll zoom in again. Hopefully it's not flying off or we'll miss it and I won't be able to follow it. So I'll zoom in again for now. And the sky is very, very overcasted. So my scope might not have enough light to give us a clear picture. And when it was looking down that 800 feet up rock face, at the bottom is a river filled with rainbow trouts. It's right there at the bottom. I've been there before on previous live streams to show you. And I might go there later today or tomorrow, depending on the weather. And I'll have to make sure first there are no mountain lions. They come and go from there. Usually they come over if it's very cold in the elevation. They move down knowing the deer has moved down. And they've got a den, anyhow, across the river. I've seen it only once, daytime, and that was like 3 years ago, I think. But our temperatures had reached minus 30 Fahrenheit, and that was for like 2 or 3 days. So it was an exceptional Sunday. It was a Sunday morning around 11 a.m. And bald eagle warned me. I was actually at the river. There was snow on the ground quite a bit. And I actually, for some reason, drove on that day, thank goodness. And I was there to film the bald eagles fledge that were eating a goose. And then bald eagle adult showed up, made a lot of noise. And that's when I saw the mountain lion at the Rip Rap Rock on the riverbank. And I jumped in my car, which was right there. And I was getting ready to walk along the private road, and I am glad I didn't. And I am glad I was paying attention to bald eagle. Thank you, citizen. I couldn't go on the translation because I am outside. I'll tell you what, it was warmer this morning at 6 than it is now at 11. We've got the wild turkeys are back in the area. So I am hoping I can film them. They will eventually come under the tree line to get those seeds. But they usually turn up at 5 or 6. And usually I'm busy with work. So I might start to stream in the morning again, even if we have no animals as such, hoping to catch the wild turkeys. They're in the area on other properties. I spotted like 25, 30 of them yesterday. But they usually come on the property just before Thanksgiving. It's like they know this property doesn't do hunting, let's go there. And the same at Christmas. And 1 year, they all perched on that cottonwood. I didn't know. I don't know why I didn't, but I didn't know, and I won't pretend I did. I didn't know turkeys could fly this high. They were on a very tall tree, all perched up for the night. At first, when I saw them, it looked kind of creepy. I was just coming back on property. It was dark. And I was looking at the tree with my headlights, and I was, what the heck is that? You had so many of them. Oh, the mama. Wait, is that Eaglet or mama? No, that's Eaglet. I think that's. Oh, mama is perched a bit further. I'm pretty sure that actually where they are hanging around, Eaglet can see them from the top of the ridge, because that view goes really far. I mean, you can see so much when you go up there. I was actually shocked how much you can see once you're on the top of that ridge. If you can make pals, just make pals. Bumblebees and ladybugs and a lot of insects live in those leaves. That's where they hibernate for the winter. And I know we can't save everything. I've got the same problem with the patios. We've got to keep them clean for the baths. And then we taking the leaf blower out, and in the back of my mind, it's like, oh, ladybugs, praying mantis eggs, this and that. So I make piles of them in the flower beds instead of to just rid of them altogether. And hope that I didn't disrupt too much. Well, I've been streaming for 55 minutes, 30 minutes on the other one. So Eaglet gave us a good view today. I mean, for 4 weeks, I've been trying to film it. It lends long enough for a short, and a lot of shorts were actually just with my other phone flying around because it doesn't lend long enough for me to even set up the scope on the phone. I've got the same problem on my tablets. It isn't, I'll type live stream, it will type love stream because the I is next to the O or close by. And when I type wildlife, often it will type wildlife. It's so strange. I think it's going to fly out. So I'm going to zoom out to be ready to follow it. Maybe not. No. Mama could be on the back of this ridge. She flew out. And I've got the siding of the house on my left, so I can't see if she's flying there. Oh, did you hear the ducks? Even Eaglet stopped and looked down. I don't know if it was loud enough for the phone to pick it up, because I don't have a microphone either. I'm just using the phone as is. As I said, it's very, very basic. It's going to fly out. I'm going to zoom out. It's posturing like it's getting ready to fly out. Oh, look, it's got a feather stud ready to molt. Can you see it on the right side? That's not the wing open, that's a feather ready to molt, I think. We'll know when it flies out. Oh, it's getting antsy. It's going to fly out. And I cannot film it at all. Zoomed in if it flies out. I'm trying to look at the sky, at the screen, to see if I can spot one of the parents. But it's preening, so we've got to zoom back in. And if it takes off left, I will have the house siding in the way. And the white band on its tail is to indicate it's a juvenile bald eagle. That's a marking. And I believe they keep it till they're 4 years to 7 years old, depending. It's like the bald eagle fledglings will have a lot of white markings, but no white tail and white head. And that's for their age. And it indicates to adult eagles that they're still juveniles. to maybe not steal their food, and it helps them to camouflage better until they're fully grown, which helps with the safety and protection. I'm trying to not comment so we don't take away from the eaglet calls, because that's part of watching wildlife. Oh, Mama is there. She just landed. Let me zoom out. Mama or Papa, but I'm guessing it's Mama. Look, I'll put them both in the frame. So Mama is on the left and Eaglet is on the right. And those eagles, I believe this were the first set of eaglets. They made a lot of mistakes compared to the other set of eagles that we watched. And I'm guessing they might still be bringing food to Eaglet, and that's why it's still around. But I'll zoom in on Mama so you can see her. Mama's got a lot of gold markings. We can't see them today because lack of sun. And I don't want to move my scope. Because it takes me forever to center it. And that is Eaglet. But I'll zoom out and we can see them both. There you go. So on the right, you've got Mama Eagle. On the left, you've got Eaglet, baby eagle. And as you can see, they're almost the same size. That's why I'm thinking Eaglet is a female. When Papa is next to Eaglet, Papa looks a bit smaller. And I want to zoom in, but soon as I do that, they might fly out and then I lose them. And when you have a lack of sun, it's hard to follow them against the rock face. In the summer, I can catch up with them because you'll see their shadow on the rock as they fly. In the autumn, or when you don't have any sun, you can't see the shadow. So once you lost them, it takes forever to find them. So many caves, so many. Try to zoom in on the mama. I'll risk it. I've got to go a bit down. She might be too high now on the screen. Yeah. Sorry, I've got a manual scope. Go a bit higher. There we go. And this is mama. You see on the bottom of her body feathers, she's got a lot of goldish tones. And on the back of her neck, the male doesn't have as many golden tones. And in summer, or when the sun really shines, you can really see the different hues of the gold on them. And when they fly, you can really see it on their underwings. But that's a mama. We often film the golden eaglet, so I thought we should focus on mama. We'll try to go back to eaglet to see if it's still here. And that is eaglet. And can you now tell it's got the wide bend on its wing, on its tail, which indicates it's a juvenile golden eagle. Mama doesn't have it, which indicates she's a adult. And zoom out so we can see them both. Zoom out a bit more. I'm guessing Eaglet is saying, come on, Mama, go to get me some food. It's 11:30 a.m. I need brunch. And this morning at 6, it was a lot warmer than it is now at 11:21 a.m. And for the newcomers on the stream, we're watching Mama Golden Eagle on the left, Eaglet, a baby on the right. We just zoomed in on Mama Eagle. And you can hear Eaglet calling. I'll zoom back in on Mama Eagle for the newcomers. That is Mama Eagle. She's got a lot of gold markings on the back of her neck, on the bottom of her wing feathers. And baby eaglet, who will be 7 months old on November 18th. We watched Eaglet from birth till now. I used to stream daily. When it was in the nest as a baby, we would watch Mama feeding it. Let me zoom in. Too low. And I'm filming a mile away from the patio on a private property, which is a private property where I work. And that rock face belongs to the property. And this is baby eaglet. And it's got the white band on its tail to show it's a juvenile. And I follow them yearly. They mate January, February. Then they lay their eggs in March and they will incubate. It's been like that every year for 11 years. And then the eggs, fingers crossed, when they hatch sometimes in April, like this past spring. This one was born on April 18th. And then we follow them in the nest being fed, stretching their wings, starting to hop and get ready for their fledge, their first flight. That one fledged on July 4th, Independence Day. And then we follow them on the rock face, learning to fly higher, faster, on the different techniques. And Mama brings them food, Papa bringing them food, and then the adults will take the food back to teach them to fight for their food and protect their food. And eventually they will migrate. This was the earliest fledge I have observed in 11 years, and it is the latest departure as it's still here. Usually they will fledge mid-July, end of July, and I have watched them going from mid-August to end of September, a few mid-October. I've never filmed an eaglet into November so far. This is the first time. And then in the winter, if the eaglet goes, the bald eagles will bring their fledge on the property and teach them how to catch goose. And then I'll be filming the bald eaglets being taught what to do by the parents. And then, of course, the usual mule deer, whitetail, deer, squirrels, raccoons, skunks, hawks, owls, magpies, blue jays, finches, whatever sticks around for the winter. The odd mountain lion. If we have a mild winter, we might spot black bear. It might go in a semi-hibernation. Coyotes. The mountain lion and black bear have dens in this rock face on property. The coyotes have dens by the ponds on property. Everything I film easier on property. And when I'm out and about in the mountains or wherever and I see wildlife, then I will say filmed in Dislocation, Colorado, like Estes Park, Colorado, Loveland, Colorado, Greeley, Colorado, Prudhoe Canyon, Colorado, or Mountain Range, Wyoming, Mount Princeton, Hot Springs, Colorado. If I don't specify a location, it's the private property. And Mama is still here. And I know that the new rules on YouTube are you've got to keep your content interesting by commenting da. But with wildlife, you need to hear the calls of the birds and the sounds. So constantly commenting is not a good idea, or it takes away from nature. And I'll zoom out for the newcomers. They can see what we're looking at, which is Eaglet on Mama, Eagle. And zoom back in, sorry. It's a manual everything here. We low tech, no filters, no AI, no nothing. It's as basic comes. Well, hopefully it doesn't fly away. I'm going to grab a cup of coffee. My feet are frozen. I'm actually in Crocs, standing on a very cold flagstone patio. And it got much colder. At 6 this morning, I didn't need a hat. I have a hat on, and I might need a jacket if it keeps on dropping. If you have questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'm just going to let the sounds of nature come through. And Mama is still next to it. As you can see. Oops. Mama is on the left, Eaglet is on the right. I am not mirroring my screen either. You really get to see it as I see it. Well, this is a treat. I have not been able to film Eaglet perched for more than 30 minutes in 4 weeks. I've been going for 84 minutes. This is excellent. Oh, it might fly out. And I cannot follow it on a zoom in. I'm going to get ready just in case. I've got a duck somewhere. Mama might be getting ready. They're getting ready to fly out. I'm going to try to recenter and we might lose it altogether. Oops. See, Mama flew off. Told you. So Eaglet is going to fly off. Let me zoom out. Mama flew off. Yep, she totally flew off. She's not on the rock face. So Eaglet is going to take off to follow. Unless she brings back a wild turkey, trout, duck, goose. Eaglet might wait it out. Time will tell. I'm just going to use the phone zoom in because then I don't have to do so much to zoom out if it flies off. You can hear the blue jays, the magpies. And later tonight, I might come back on a live stream with the deer, the raccoons, and the skunks. Maybe it's going to stick around. Let me recenter. Hopefully it doesn't move. Maybe it will wait for Mama to bring food. I don't know. Try to zoom in a bit more. We have no sun today, so the sun really helps the scope. But no sun today. So it makes it look a bit fuzzy due to the lack of sunlight. And to be fair, the raccoons did break the lens on my phone, the back lens. So I've got two old phones on my current phone, and every phone I own, I've now got a broken lens. Raccoons love jumping my phone. Also, they don't see the front screen because I always use the back screen. Otherwise, they really attack the phone. But yeah, I now have 3 phones with 3 broken back lenses. But so far, so good. I have been able to film. I think it's going to take off, so I'm going to zoom out. If it flies left, unfortunately, we won't get the whole flight unless it does a U-turn like it often does. Reason being, I've got the siding of the house in the way. The wind is picking up, so it will fly out because they love flying in the wind. Eagles love flying with the wind currents. That's how I know we have a storm approaching in the summer. Everything will be quiet. And then I look up and they're flying like crazy, and within 10 minutes then the winds will come lower and you know a storm is approaching. Is it repositioning or getting ready? We might miss the fly. I'm just going to zoom back in. Mama is still away. Newcomers, we are watching a golden eagle that will be 7 months old on November 18th. We watched it from day one till now. In the last 4 weeks, I haven't really been able to stream it live because it has been flying constantly. Today is the first time in 4 weeks that it's been perched for this long. Earlier in the stream, we had Mama by it, Mama Golden Eagle. It was born on April 18th. It fledged on July 4th, Independence Day. And we watched it grow in the nest, being fed, then take its first flight, then live on that rock face, which is on a private property, and watched it learn how to fly and all these different things eagles do. And it should have migrated a while back, and it's still here. And I'm guessing it's getting ready to fly out. As you can see, my scope is moving due to the wind, and you can see it from its feathers too. And they love flying in the wind, so I'm guessing it's going to take off any time now. And it was really warm at 6 this morning, and it's getting much colder now. It's 11:45 a.m. Colorado times, that is. And everything is filmed from a private property. I'm going to zoom back out. I'm pretty sure it's going to fly out, poop, to try to get the fly out. If it flies right, oh, it flew behind the rock face. So it's flying east in the plains. And I still can see it, but it's flying away. It's more than likely, I'm going to wait to see if it comes back with a U-turn, but it went behind here. It might reappear. But quite a few miles away, you've got a reservoir north of here. And you've got another one south of here. But it went behind the rock face And that's where the wild turkeys were yesterday when I was driving out. So I'll show you the behind the scenes. I am really filming with a scope. This is the rock face on the private property. And we were filming right there. And everything I film is on private property, 120 acres. My night live stream is filmed on this tree line, which is right off my front door. As you can see, my front door is on the other side. And behind those trees are more fields and tree lines. I often take walks and will take you on my walk. Over there by that foothills are all the ponds. And then north, oh, I heard it's cold, so it's not far. I might hook up again. And over there, above that building, the trees, is where the squirrel with no tail lives. And when I tell you she's 10 minutes away, it's because she goes to hide nuts over there. And I'm really filming from my patio. And that rock face belongs to the property. The nest is on the property. At the bottom of the rock face is a river. And that rock face is left untouched. Dead trees, everything belonged there for the raptures. And I'm looking if it came back. No, it has not. Let me look through the scope. I'm going to follow the ridge line, but usually I can see it just with my eyes anyway. The eagle is so big. You know when it's at the top. No, it's not. So I guess for now I'm going to end this stream, but if you turn your notifications on all, you'll see me back on the next one. I might come this evening. The deer, which usually is a herd of 20-25, has been splitting in smaller groups because the predators are back on property and they're protecting the spring fawns by splitting in smaller groups. But they often come in the evening to finish the bird seeds. And I will film mule deer and whitetail depending on what's coming. And last night we had a skunk and 3 raccoons peeking out on the leftovers. And deer will eat with the raccoons and skunks. Depending on the weather and how cold it gets, I might go to the river. And if I do cross, I'll come live. It's full of caves. I could hook back up and show you the caves. I'm just showing you a back scene, I guess. But I often go to the caves too, which are neat. I'm going to hook you back up. Okay. As you can see, that's where the eagles will live in the summer. It's full of caves everywhere. Let me find you the big ones. There you go. These are their favorite caves. You can see all the raptures poop. This is the old nest. It was abandoned because a human went up there, trespassed, and disturbed the original eagles. This nest is over 30 years old, just to let you know. And this year was the first year we had no eagles on it. The original pair was disrupted so much this spring by some humans who felt entitled to be at the top to try to get the pictures they left. So the eaglet, the new eagles, which is a young pair, build a nest in 2 months. I actually watched them, and that's the nest. And it's going to get bigger, and that's where Eaglet was born. And if you look at my shorts, videos, past lives, you'll see Eaglet in that nest. As a baby, it had a sibling, but a snake crawled in the nest and ate the youngest eaglet and came back for that current eaglet. And Mama Eagle came. It was on a live stream, so it is true. And it is marked on a short. On live stream, she pulled the snake out of the nest and ate it. And then that's the bottom. Oops, that's trees. The bottom of the rock face where I often go when I cross the river. And we'll go to these lower caves. Let me find one. Some of them are very interesting. I'm just trying to find you one. I'll have to zoom out, I think. This rock was studied and it's very crumbly, so you can't actually hike it. But the lower ones are okay with good hiking shoes. So I'll go in these caves. And they're pretty neat. And then I'll take you with me. I just hook my phone on my shirt. And I can't participate in chat usually, but because I'm busy hiking. But like this one, we can go in there and explore. Hoping there isn't a mountain lion, a black bear, or rattlesnakes. This area is full of rattlesnakes. And that's where they go in the winter, in some of these caves. And you see another one here, and it's got little windows. So on a not too cold day, when I know mountain lions are not around and higher up, I'll cross the river, take us. And last spring I did it, and I left my hiking shoes on the riverbank. And I was sliding everywhere with my gaiters, so I couldn't go all the way. So this year I'll try to remember. And this is the riverbank. And it's all private property. Not mine. This is where I work. If it was my property, I think I would have top-of-the-art equipment. But it gives you an idea. It's always good to see behind the scenes. All right. Well, for now, I'll call it a day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Blessings.